Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. First of all, I hope you guys are having a great day. I feel like I'm having what most people consider a Monday. Because, like, it's just... I had a good weekend, right? And I woke up early today, which was a miracle, by the way. I didn't sleep in. I had a very productive morning. And then I wanted to test out this new recording stuff. So I was trying to use my camcorder as a webcam so it would have better quality. And I plugged it into a new capture card that I bought. And I did like 3 videos where I was trying to get it to work. 3 videos that you guys will never see because of technical reasons. But every time it froze, and then I had to start over, and then it didn't feel good. And to top it all off, like let's go ahead and view my profile, right? Here's my match history. It's not going well. It's not going well today. So I'm going to play Sylvanas. I'm going to try to cheer myself up because she's a fantastic, amazing character that everyone should have in their arsenal, especially if they're jumping into Hero League. And I hope that I can brighten your day. Let's just put it that way.
Victory for the Forsaken.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in the Infernal Shrines today. Pretty good map for Sylvanas, especially if you're able to get the starting objective. The friendly team, Thrall, Greymane, Illidan, Zagara, Sylvanas. The enemy team, Illidan, Zeratul, Zagara, Greymane, Murky. So a lot of burst damage potential coming out from the enemy team, especially if Zeratul and Greymane open up on the same target. If Murky is able to land an Octograb on someone, that could be pretty devastating as well because we don't have any frontline or healers. But we can make it work. We can make it work. At level 1, we are going to go for Paralysis. There doesn't seem to be much variation in Sylvanas builds these days, although I prefer mind control in most situations. I will take the, I don't even know what the other one's called, the dark arrow, wailing arrow. I will take the wailing arrow in situations where the enemy team has an ETC, or I'm particularly worried about some kind of a channeled ultimate, like from a Lily. I guess ETC is also a channel ultimate. Come eat some slack today, guys. I'm trying really hard. To get out of this rut that I'm in right now. I really want to improve the quality of these videos more so than they've been in the past. I'm always striving to move forward, and when I have setbacks, like when I have this thing that's been delaying me from having my face cam back in the video, that's kind of frustrating, but I'm going to try not to dwell on it. If you've never played Sylvanas before, her Q ability is Withering Fire. You can essentially just hold down this ability throughout the course of the game. I've gotten some shit in the past for not holding down this ability and tapping the button instead. First of all, to those people, fuck you. Secondly, up until a couple months ago, maybe a month and a half ago, you could not hold down the Q ability when you were playing on quick cast on release. You could hold it down normally and you could hold it down for quick cast, but if you were playing on quick cast on release, you had to constantly tap the button. So it has taken me a while to break that habit. But as you can see, whenever I walk into these minion waves, I just hold that down. It's going to just home after minions and it's going to deal some damage to them. And you know, it's not terribly exciting, but it's a pretty good ability, pretty consistent damaging ability. Our W ability is called Shadow Dagger. What this does is throws out an initial dagger that will then chain to everything in the area, heroes and minions alike. And it is a great tool in your arsenal. It's what we're going to be building the majority of our talents around today. And it's going to allow us to do some pretty considerable AoE damage throughout the course of the game. Zeratul should die here. Illidan should die here. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and start this. We are going to go for Lost Soul at level 4. Again, that is focusing on our Shadow Dagger. And we are going to be building around that for the majority of this game. Our E abilities is Haunting Wave. This sends out a wave of banshees that we can then teleport to if we reactivate the ability. Now, every ability that we've just talked about does carry the passive, the trait of Sylvanas, and that trait is called Black Arrows. And what it does is it I'm gonna make it. It allows you to disable minions and buildings while the trait is on the target. Now, we also spec for this at level 1 with the Paralysis. It's going to increase the duration by 75%. Not a required talent by any means, but I do think it helps out with the general flow and pacing of how Sylvanas is played. Looks like the enemy team was able to push us out of there pretty hard. We only need 9 more of these things, but it's important we don't overextend and die for it. This is an outnumbered match that we're in right here. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Haunting Wave just to deal some damage to the creeps. I know that irks some people as well. But it looks like we are going to be able to push them out, and there we go. We got the first objective of the game. Very important on this map as a Sylvanas player, because you can get so much more value out of the Punisher than you previously could. Now, the enemy team already made one mistake. What did they do? Well, they didn't let the Punisher jump over the wall to take damage from additional buildings. Now, we are going to be able to use our trait much more effectively. As you can see, we've already taken down a wall, and the Punisher's barely been hit at all. The enemy team's starting to notice that maybe I'm a bit higher of a priority than the Punisher. I don't know. But we are essentially making this guy be a devastating force that they have to deal with, rather than, you know, kind of a nuisance. Because we are able to disable that keep, or that fort, I guess, and let that guy push without much damage congestion at all, which is so fucking strong on this map. I can't even begin to tell you. Now, I think we have a couple options here. Withering Fire deals triple damage to non-heroic units. This is something that you would pick up on Battlefield of Eternity every single time, because it's so good at melting a single target unit like that. It's also pretty good on this map as well. I'm personally more of a fan of Unstable Poison. Minions that die under the effect of black arrows just blow up. I think it's a pretty cool effect, and it's just kind of satisfying to look at. But as far as which one probably is going to give us more value, it's probably going to be Barb Shot. So we basically just hold down our Q. Whenever a minion dies, I think we get another shot of our Q. And we just walk into the minion waves and let that deal that bonus damage and let it push the minion wave quite well. We don't have to worry about being too overextended right now, because we see everyone on the enemy team. They're on the map right now. They're showing, and we can push in here and get a decent amount of value. Zagara is rotating down to kill us, so we'll just go ahead and disable this towers just so they can push in and do a little bit more damage. And then we will be on our merry way disengaging from this. Your mini-map is one of your best tools on any split push character. Zagara's, or excuse me, not Zagara. Sylvanas is one of those characters that can be considered a split pusher, but yeah, she's also just fantastic at playing the assassin role in any given team as well. So they don't have any channeled ultimates that I'm worried of at all, other than the Octograb, which makes Murky extremely vulnerable and you can just kill him. So I am going to be going for Mind Control. And we're actually just going to use that right here to get a kill on this Grey Mane immediately. We're going to walk him right into Thrall, and that, no excuse for that not to be a kill. Zagara didn't deal any damage there. But we do end up getting the kill on Grey Mane. We have the level advantage, and we're going to start this. I was going to start the Punisher, but I'm actually thinking about turning around and helping out in this team fight just a little bit. Our Illidan and Grey Mane are making their way up from the bottom lane right now, so we have a little bit of time to waste before they get here, and we can really safely contest this. Grey Mane for the enemy team still dead. I like to ping the shit out of whatever I'm going to mind control. I didn't do it there, but it just gives the team a lot more notice, and I'm going to tell them that right now. I'm going to try to ping a lot when I mind control. So please focus that target. Okay. Now they know. Looks like they're easily winning team fights down there without me even paying attention to it, so it seems as though this game is going pretty smoothly, which is exactly what I needed right now. I needed one of those super fucking I needed a pick-me-up game, and that's what I'm going to get here. I'm not... Shoot fishes. Okay. I'm not going to be recording a lot of Heroes today. In fact, it's probably only going to be this one video. Just because there's a big patch coming out tomorrow, and then throughout the rest of the week I will be covering those changes as much as I can. Looks like we're going to get this, no problem. And again, because I was able to just completely disable everything that those buildings could do, you can see that this guy is at extremely high health right now. He's going to jump in, he's going to kill that Zagara, no problem. And then as Sylvanas, we'll just continue to move in here and disable these buildings so this Punisher is taking even less damage. Illidan coming in with the hunt. We're just going to mind control him because that's our only option. And unfortunately, we will be killed by the Octograb. Our team, quite frankly, should have just been pushing. I don't think we're going to get a lot of value out of this mercenary camp that they took over, because we could have just killed the building anyway. But I think it's a little too early to kind of be gearing up to go to core, which is what I think this mercenary camp play would be. I think you would get the mercenary camp with the Punisher if you're expecting to walk up to the final building. But realistically, this mercenary camp did nothing for this push to get the keep. It allowed the enemy team to move in. It actually bought them a lot of time. And basically did no damage to that structure. So I think that was a little bit of a misplay. You can misconstrue that and say I'm salty all you want. I'm not. It's just little things like that. I think it's important to point them out in order to not only improve my gameplay, but also inform you on my thought processes. We are going to go for Drain Life at level 13. This is going to allow us to, you guessed it, woo, drain life from enemy heroes. What is the official description? Shadow Dagger heals for 64 each time it spreads to an enemy. I thought it was enemy hero. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Yeah, it just heals us. So that's just strong on its own. The enemy team is nowhere to be seen. Actually, they're grouping up down in the bottom lane. I would really like to take this camp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand next to this guy on the left. And then I'm just going to alternate fire to the guys on the right. And I'm just holding down my Q this whole time. And as you can see, I'm keeping this whole camp completely frozen, so they can't deal any damage to me. And we were able to secure that by ourselves relatively quickly without taking any damage whatsoever. We do have a mind control opportunity here on this gray main. I would love it if our Zagara would kill him. And now we just get out with our Banshees. Pretty decent disengage there. Our gray main unfortunately did not disengage and is still going in, so we'll try to help. He is taken down already, but we got the Murky. I am a little afraid of the Illidan. I don't have much of an answer for him. That's a pretty good maw, and hopefully she just runs from it. No, actually deciding to turn around with the Banelings. We're going to spread our W in there, and then we're just going to leave. This honestly was a fight that we should have left a while ago anyway. Banshee's over the wall to the Sippy Cup, and we're going to be okay. Now the Shrine is active, and the enemy team is going to have a pretty substantial numbers advantage here. But we can at least keep our lanes moving in the right direction until our friendly team is able to come in and reinforce us. I've said in the past that I think Sylvanas is one of the best characters at capitalizing on mistakes that the enemy team makes. And I still think that's true. For instance, if they aren't watching an area adequately, dude, our team is going so ham. That was a fucking 1v5 that guy just dived into. If the enemy team isn't watching a lane and they're focusing on something, you can just completely split push and completely annihilate that lane before they really have any idea of what happened in most cases. We just got a triple kill, okay. One of them was Murky, I don't know if it really counts, but Zagara and Illidan were back defending the base because of that really good last push we had on the Punishers. We are going to go for Cold Embrace, which is the Shadow Dagger makes the target that we initially hit vulnerable. Now, I do think it is worth getting some mercenary camps here because, first of all, this guy just got to the building. We're going to mind control this Illidan, walk him right into our team, and he's going to die. Okay. Because, number one, we just spawned the Punisher, so it was barely even to a building yet. And number two is we already know the enemy team has to focus us here so we can get some extra lane pushing power out of that mercenary camp that is now pushing middle. Now, I do think our whole team needs to be together team push. But, you know, Zagara's middle, Illidan's top. So that we could have won the game with this push if we were all together. But instead, I don't know, we might get... No, it's looking like this is going to be it. Okay. Okay, we'll just go ahead and back up. We can get some damage in here mid. It's not like our trade is super helpful here because everything's almost dead, but we need to heal up off the minions and buildings and all that stuff in the area anyway. There's a VP on our Illidan. I'm going to dip out over the wall. We have mind control in just a few seconds. We're going to go ahead and hit him with our W ability, making him vulnerable, but our Illidan didn't actually turn around to deal damage to him. Zeratul at the top of the screen. Actually, we're pretty vulnerable here. So let's go ahead and we'll back up a little bit. Murky coming in for the enemy team. It's hard to distinguish which creep is ours and which is the enemy team's. I know you can see the creep tumor in friendlies, but when there's that much creep everywhere, it's kind of hard to, on the fly, say, you know, if it's friendly or not. Yeah, I have no interest in taking part in any of this, so I'm just gonna back up. And that's okay. And that is okay. It's much better. If your team wants to go in and die, it's much better just let them go fucking die rather than trying to move in and be the hero and trying to make something happen. People make bad plays all the time. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. We push this lane up. Okay, it's important that we disengage now because 2 members of our friendly team are dead, and we want nothing to do with that. We do see 3 members of the enemy team on the map right now, so I'm feeling, you know, I'm feeling relatively confident in my ability to just move in here and get this moving in the right direction as well. We can push lanes very quickly. We could take out a minion wave so fast on Sylvanas, and we could just rotate around, continue to generate a pretty substantial amount of XP, but also keep up the building pressure at the same time. And that's important. It's important to always constantly be doing that. Now we see 5 members of the enemy team on the map. We know exactly where everyone is, and we know that they are split up at the time being. This would be a great opportunity to kind of clump up as a team and get a pick if this was a bit more of an organized situation. But it's not an organized situation, and we already know there's Zagara has a ton of creep out on the map, which would be a pretty big hindrance to that surprise attack. So we're just going to start the shrine up right here. I don't want to get octograbbed. It's pretty important that that doesn't happen. The Maw did come out for the enemy team. Illidan once again deep, 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 deep. He is disengaging now, and we'll just go ahead and try to focus this Zeratul down. We were successful in that. I will have a mind control here for this Greymane. That'll just stop him from moving, stop him from... Actually, I was interrupted by something, and I don't know what it was. I have no idea. Seriously, absolutely no clue what interrupted me there. So I am 100% confident in my team's ability to take this without me. So what I'm going to do is push the lane. I am a gigantic fan of Fury of the Storm. I said I was a huge minority in the last video. I guess that doesn't make sense. I'm a small minority that loves Fury of the Storm. And it just increases a lot of the things in your kit that you're already doing and makes you better at them, which is great. I mean, that's what you always strive for in talent builds, right? Synergy. So Fury of the Storm, every 5 seconds, we're going to get a critical hit, right? Guaranteed critical hit. If we hit a minion, it'll splash to all the other minions in the area. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. But remember that we can also control who we're making vulnerable. Let's go ahead and just mind control her, bring her back. We are going to be killed by the Zeratul. That's okay. So we hit someone with our W. They take 25% more damage. Then simply we just auto attack them and get this bonus critical hit damage to that guy that is then increased by 25%. It allows our team to also get in there and deal more damage to them because they're vulnerable. It just makes you better at everything you've been doing throughout the course of the game. Makes you better at pushing, makes you better at trading. She's just a fantastic character. She has a fantastic kit, and I would say Sylvanas is overpowered on a map like this, especially if you get the first objective, if your team is working together really well. You can get so much more out of these pushing objectives with Sylvanas than you can with any other character in the game. And that's just another way that she is fantastic about just exploiting every single little advantage and taking advantage of every single little mistake that the enemy team makes throughout the course of the game. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We did okay. It could have been better, of course, but we did okay. The talents I used, which will not change much in most situations. Paralysis level 1, Lost Soul level 4. Barb Shot level 7. Most people go Wailing Arrow here. I love Mind Control, especially versus a team comp like this. That is, everyone on the enemy team has to position properly not to die. And Mind Control allows us to make them position very, very badly. We bring them into our team and kill them in situations where they're trying to avoid being in the middle of our team. Even on characters like Illidan, who are able to dive in, Illidan can only survive if he's able to continue to deal damage. So mind controlling a target like Illidan makes it so all of his survival just completely goes out the window. Life Drain to keep ourselves sustained. Cold Embrace, again, for that 25% damage increase to the target for 2 seconds. So strong. It used to be even stronger. This used to spread to an entire fucking team. It doesn't do that anymore. And then Fury of the Storm for the reasons that I already said, if you go Mind Control, Dark Lady's Call is great because it actually makes the target sprint, which is pretty cool. I don't take it a lot, though. In most cases, I would go for Bolt of the Storm at level 20 if I didn't want Fury. Thank you all for watching today's video. Hope you guys are having a great Monday. And I will see you all tomorrow with the Gul'dan patch. Okay, bye.